Well, alright guys, so we're back to the KCCR. This time we're going to be going over SWTOR, Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm aware some of you prefer to pronounce it Tor, some of you prefer to pronounce it something else, but I say SWTOR, so you gotta deal with it. Alright, let's see where to begin. Well, obviously it's based in Star Wars, The Old Republic, teehee. Alright, as you can see I've got my 3 characters here. Now I usually don't show my characters for purposes of, I simply don't, want names taken or whatever, but this I feel it necessary to do so. Now, I've been in this game, I pre-ordered it, how people say don't pre-order games, whatever. I've been here, so a lot of stuff has changed. The reason I'm doing this is to show you that if you've been here, if you bought it like back in the day and you were a subscription-based plan, then and you came back now because it's free to play, you would have a preferred account status where you can have 6 active characters and whatnot. But, obviously I've got a level 50 here. Notice it says activate. Okay, 2 inactive characters. This is obviously from when I played back in the day. Now, if I activate him, it'll take up one of the slots, but since he's deactivated and I don't really want to use him per se, you leave him inactivated. I do not believe you can deactivate a character once you activate them, or maybe you can. No, you can't. So you'd only have delete. So for those of you who do have characters, you're safe with the knowledge that you can leave them inactive and you're good to go, and you can make a bunch of new characters. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the character creation. You're brought to this screen, and generally gives you an idea of what is what up here. But essentially, it's the Sith Empire and the Galactic Republic. It's a little post-Revan's time. Now, the Galactic Republic is your Jedis, your Han Solos, and all that shit, and your Sith is, well, your Sith. So we're gonna go ahead and click the only one that is really worth clicking. Alright, upon clicking the Empire, or we'll go ahead and go back real quick. Yes. And click the Republic. You're brought to your class choice. Okay, let's go ahead and go. You've got Jedi Knight, Jedi Counselor, Smuggler, and Trooper. Each of these have an advanced class once you hit level 10, I believe it is. It very well could be 11, but I'm pretty sure it's 10, where you choose what you are. I don't remember what the Republic ones are, but I know the Sith. Alright, so you've got Sith Warrior, Sith Inquisitor, Bounty Hunter, and Imperial Agent. Alright, these classes pretty much explain themselves. Your Sith Warrior is your Vader, frankly. Your Darth Scion, I believe, would count towards that. I'm trying to think. I think Mace Windu would be one. Your Sith Inquisitors are, well, Mace Windu would be the Jedi equivalent, you know what I'm saying. The Sith Inquisitor is your Sith Sorcerer. They're the guys that use the Force more than their lightsaber to do combats. We've got Bounty Hunter, which I can't even go into, it pretty much explains itself. Then you've got Imperial Agent, alright, which may or may not make sense, but an Imperial Agent is pretty much you work for the Empire. You're a Sith's bitch, no matter what you want to say. Now the advanced classes for these, I believe, will actually... Maybe it will show this. Let's see. Advanced classes, there you go. This will show you what they turned into. A Sith Marauder and a Sith Juggernaut. Alright, Sith Juggernaut, they have roles here. And whatnot. The Sith Juggernaut is your heavy armored, able to take a beating guy. He does use Force abilities such as Force Choke, and they have a tree pretty much dedicated to that type of stuff. Your Sith Marauder dual wields lightsabers, as you can see right here. Medium armor, they use Rage Resource, which anybody who's played WoW is well aware of what that is. You build it up and you spam it. It's pretty cool stuff. Alright, you've got your Sith Inquisitors, which advance into a Sith Assassin or a Sith Sorcerer. Anybody who knows anything about Star Wars will pretty much already know what a Sith Assassin is. Star Wars The Force Unleashed pretty much covered that shit really well. They use their double-bladed lightsaber. That's the only difference here that may throw you off. They're the ones that use a saber like Maul uses. So yeah, if you want to do that, you do that. They use stealth. They're your typical rogue class, but they can do some other stuff too. And they can tank really well. Well, even though it says so. Sith Sorcerer is one that only people who are real Star Wars nerds may understand. They're like, well, Vader's it. No. Sith Sorcery was an ancient form of Sith magic that has died out in the current Star Wars time frame. But back then, it's serious fucking business. Force Lightning falls under Sith Sorcery, but there's far more to it than just Force Lightning. Alright, Bounty Hunter. Power Tech Mercenary. Mercenaries use dual blasters. They can both deal damage, but the Power Tech is more of a heavy armored, flamethrower, tanky type of thing with a lot of stuns and whatnot, some ropes and whatnot. The Mercenary is pretty much about as doing as much damage as you can, although they have a secondary heal tree, so does the Sith Sorcerer. Imperial Agent, you've got Operative and Sniper. Operative is like the Sith Assassin version of the non-Sith classes. It's a stealth-based class, but it can do healing and it can do damage. It uses blaster rifles, and I believe it can use some pistols. Maybe it can't use, I don't know, vibro knives and whatnot. Medium, it uses energy, which is a natural regenning thing. And Sniper is self-explanatory. It's a sniper. So we're really can't get more into that. It even has one roll here. Alright, let's go ahead and just click this for now. Alright, so when you choose the class you want to be, you're brought down to the race selections. Now, back when I played, on release, you didn't have the ability to have any of these races. So ignore this right now. You had the ones that are already unlocked. Like, you could only be these three if you wanted to play this class. Now you can be any of the races, irrelevant of what class you're choosing. There's two ways to do this. One, when you play the game, if you have a character and you get them to level 50, that race becomes unlocked to be used by the other classes. For example, I have Mira Luca. This was, if you will, a see, it tells you how to do it there as I touch my screen to point. Alright. That used to be how you do it. That used to be a Jedi-specific class, but I've unlocked it. The other way, once you get to 50, you unlock it for other things, like I said. The other way is to just buy the class outright by going here, and it'll take you to the web page, and you buy some cartel coins or whatever, and you unlock it, and it'll unlock it for all the classes. So there's ways of doing that. So we're gonna go ahead and just click human here. Now you're brought to, if you want to be male or female, we'll just apparently click female, I guess. Alright, and you're brought to the actual creation aspect. Now, let's zoom out a little bit. Alright, now this isn't the best, but it's fairly good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and drop all the sliders down, because why the fuck not? Let's just, oh god, get down there, you fucking bitch. Alright, whatever. Okay, so right here, we'll start with body type up here. Body type pretty much changes. Yeah, that's a lot of woman right there. That's a little much. It changes the obviously the physique of your character, but that's all you get. You only get like 4 choices for each male and female. I'll click on male real quick.
Time to rage.
I'll show you what I'm talking about. Ignore those mutton chops. Those are pretty badass. Yeah. So you've generally got that, alright? Then you're brought down to your head. But I gotta go ahead and drop these again. Let's just get that out of the way. Cover this a little bit. Alright, your head type is pretty self-explanatory. Like many other games, it is what dictates your facial structure and shape. Yeah. So, some of them are a little goofy, some of them are pretty straightforward, so we'll just go to the bottom. Scars. A lot of classes have scars. I'm not sure if all of them do, but I know that when I made a Sith Inquisitor, that had them. When I made a Sith Warrior, obviously right now you had it. The Bounty Hunter has an Imperial Agent, so they may be applicable, but I'm not sure. And I've never played blue side, so I don't know. So you've got a lot of scars here to choose from. Excuse me, I'm sick and I just woke up, so yeah. Some of them were pretty cool, some of them not so much and whatnot. I mean, that's clearly the Joker. Like, clearly. But alright. Okay. Then you've got complexion. Let's go ahead and get rid of scars real quick, just so you can easily see them. Alright. Complexion is what dictates things like you got some freckles here. It also affects the shape of your eyebrows, but everybody knows what a complexion is, so it's really not worth going into. I mean, age marks and whatnot. Yeah, so I mean, there's enough there to find your fancy. There's got to be enough. I mean, look at that. Each one of those little ticks right there are a different one, so it's a fair amount of those, and a fair amount of heads too. So you're gonna go. Eye color, self-explanatory. I'll just breeze through these so you get a general idea of what you're looking at. Oh, there's already it. That's it. Yeah, these are different based on the race you choose, I believe. So, you've got beards. Now, one thing I'll point out is not all races share all of these. For example, beards I'm not going to go into because I really don't care. But I mean, you've got a large selection of them. I mean, that range from legit beards to like facial, just a mustache and whatnot. Tattoos. Tattoos are used by humans for the Sith Warrior class. I'm not sure if the light side has something that does it, but the Sith Inquisitor does not have access to tattoos. Yeah. Or maybe they do now. I'll double check when I go to the Sith Warrior. You've got a lot of hair options. Not all of them are shared between each class. You know, there is hair physics, so the hair will move. Even if it doesn't show it here, the hair does move. You've got your hair color and your skin color. Yeah. Okay. Those were humans, so we're going to go ahead and go back to, let's say, let's go to, Sith Inquisitor, because really, if you're playing Star Wars and you're not a Sith, you're probably doing it wrong. Let's, once again, go to humans, just for the sake of seeing if
I suppose I can lower myself to do this.
I suppose you can. Yeah, I see no tattoos. But instead they have slave brands. No tattoos and no scars, but they have slave brands. It ties in line with their story. So, yeah. The bodies are the same, the heads are the same, the hair is the same here. So if you want differences, we'll go ahead and go back and click on, let's click on Imperial Agent, click on Mayor Luca. Click a female, because why the hell not?
You better not be wasting my
tight
time.
pants affect me. Alright, here you have scars, like the other classes. But the difference is here you have your mask, which is Mayor Luca exclusive, because Mayor Luca don't have eyes. Go ahead and, if you don't know anything about them, look them up if you want. Yeah, so, and they have scars. So, yeah. That pretty much covers that. That's the advanced classes, like I said, you already got that. You've got abilities here that'll show you, well, we'll explain what they're supposed to do. So you can click a bunch of stuff up here and get a general idea of what the class is expected to do. Alright, so you're good to go there. Alright, let's go ahead and hop over to blue side real quick. Yes, just because I can. I guess we'll click the Jedi Knights. Like I said, you've got Mirror Luke was already unlocked, so I don't have any of the other races, and my first character was a human, so that's pretty much unlocked for everybody, so I missed out on that, obviously. But you've got a Zabrak, you've got Sith, the proper Sith, not like Dooku, but like the red skin, fucking, yeah. You've got Twi'lek, you've got, Mirielin, I believe is what it's called, I guess, I don't know. Chiss, Cyborgs, and Ratataki. Alright, let me go show you something. When I said there's differences between races, I forgot to cover... Let's do this.
That's somewhat intriguing.
Oops, I don't want to be a human. No, don't exit. Morning brain, why you do? I can't access that. Why? Well, weird. So free players would have to buy the Sith, even though that was previously accessible from everybody. Interesting enough. Either way, what I wanted to show you was that they have red eyes, red and yellowish eyes, like legit black scleras and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and go into this. Now, I can't obviously really show you the abilities when it comes to the classes here, but we can sit here and I can discuss it to go over it, because this character creation I just covered...
Now, that wasn't so bad, was it?
...is pretty straightforward, so we'll cover the stuff that I can't cover just by sitting on this screen, and I dread logging in just because there's no reason for me to do that. Alright, so all classes are voiced. Now, they're voiced based on class, which means the voice actors sat there and did the recordings for, I'm stumbling upon my words here. Alright, all male Sith sorcerers, for example, are fully voiced, but they all have the same voice actor and the same lines. The females, the same. They all have a different, well, obviously not the male voice, they have a female voice actor, but the same lines. Yet a female Sith warrior does not have the same lines as a female Sith sorcerer. So they're fully voiced, and the cutscenes are fantastic. Obviously, it's a BioWare game, so you get a lot of the whole choice cutscene stuff, and a lot of people were complaining that your choices don't matter, when sure, but those are the same kind of people who probably min-max and shit like Mass Effect or Dragon's Age and whatnot, and they're like, well, it doesn't matter because we're fucking stupid. Yeah, you're stupid, shut up. Alright, let's see. You're fully voice acted, you have your stories. Abilities-wise, the classes are, I can only really attest for Bounty Hunter. Let's go back real quick. Get on this screen. Oh, no. I can only really attest for Bounty Hunter and Sith Sorcerer. Oh shit, well I guess I'll be showing you some skills, won't I? As you see on this loading screen, it explains your story, your chapters, and your progression, and I believe when you beat your story it says like prologue something something something. So you're generally, upon logging in, let's say you don't play for months and you come back and you're like, man, I'd like to play some SWTOR, at least you'll get a description of what you were currently doing. You have a choice between planets once you leave your home planet and your tutorial planet. That allows you to... You can go to Tatooine or Balmorra and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry, you're stuck with Balmorra, but you have a choice between Alderaan and Tatooine. Once you do that, you're able to continue your story. Alright, let's go over abilities real quick. Okay. Now, when you open your abilities tab, you're brought here. You've got General, Mercenary, which is what you start as a bounty hunter. No, I'm sorry. No, you don't. You have your Bounty Hunter, which is what you start as. Legacy, Companion, Mercenary. We'll go over General. General stuff that everybody has. Though it's, for example, Sense Force alignment. Let's use it on... Can't use it on her. Maybe I can... Can't use it on... Out of range. We'll show you this real quick. It's a Mirror Lucas specific ability. It allows you to see the alignment of the person that you use it on. It's just for, what do you want to call it? Cosmetic effect, if you will. Got your revives and stuff like this, quick travel. So these are all your every class has, pretty much. Mercen, Bounty Hunter. These skills listed here will be different depending on what you are, so sorcerer, whatever. And they consist of stuff that, for the most part, you'll be using throughout the game. Some of them are decent, some of them not so much. You've got your advanced class. Like I said, once you get to level 10 or 11, I believe it is, you have the choice between your advanced class. And once you unlock that, they'll get their own skills and whatnot that are, for all intents and purposes, better. Legacy. Legacy is stuff you get because... Let's see how to explain legacies. Let's see. Legacy. That is not legacy. La la la. Okay, your legacy is tied to the characters that you have, that you've ranked up, you've unlocked, what have you, and you can angle them based on, like, are they family, brothers, sisters. But you've got species, shows what you have unlocked. Public classes, Sith, Imperial classes. When you get a class to, I don't think it's a level, it says right there, you unlock certain abilities. So, for example, all these little buffs that apply to the classes, if you get all of them to, let's see, chapter 2 or whatever, you unlock them. So when you use this buff, let's show you right here. Where is it? I don't know where mine is. Like I said, I haven't played since a while. But you use it, and it'll apply all the buffs that you've unlocked in one. So it's beneficial. Yeah. So that about covers abilities. Well, I guess not quite. Let's see. You've got companions. SWTOR is fun in the regard that you get a companion. You can, depending on the class you are, they are different. You can decorate them. See if I can remember which controls open what. Alrighty, here. We go down to companion. And you can give them armor, you can give them your hand-me-downs, weapons, skins, and whatnot that alter their appearance. You also can customize your ship. But the only real customization you have for that is what weapons and shields and stuff. So they're all going to look the same, but it's still a sense of customization for your ship that I find intriguing. What about cover skills? Let's go to talents. Now, like I said, once you get to your advanced class, you then unlock your talent tree. Okay. And depending on what class you are, you have a bunch of different stuff here. For example, Sith Sorcerer and Bounty Hunter both have your damage trees, and then your Universal Damage Tree, which covers a lot of abilities that are pretty much your base class abilities, but affects some of your advanced class abilities and whatnot. You have your typical damage tree, which affects your advanced class abilities more than it affects your base class, and then you have a healing tree. And you get enough points that you can go down pretty deep into like 2, or you could stay mid-range in 3. How you do it's up to you, but there's obviously going to be optimal builds for certain aspects like damage or Sith Sorcerer regenerating, force powers. Let's see here. Try to use some abilities. So give me a second as I run my way over to an enemy. Alright. Okay. So we've got enemies over here, and I'm going to go and cycle through a few of my abilities. Let me explain a little bit about this. Now, for my mercenary, I decided to go, well, what back pre-free-to-play was the cookie-cutter build. It was a tracer missile build. It's pretty much damage. My Sith Sorcerer, I'm a Force Lightning build, instant recasts and shit like that. Pretty fucking good. Every class has a starter ability on level 1. What was that? That you have that, depending on the class you are, either builds energy or doesn't create. For example, the mercenaries and bounty hunters have a heat mechanic. So the more they use abilities, the more that increases. Once it's up here, you can't use any of your abilities except ones that don't generate heat, i.e. rapid shots. So you want to try to mix in rapid shots in there, so you don't overheat your shit and get locked out and like have 8 dudes sting you all at once and kill you. The Sith Warriors have a few energy builder attacks. Their beginning attacks, I believe, actually build rage, and upon which you continue to spam that stuff. So you always want to end up using this. Now, SWTOR doesn't have an auto attack like some games do. You have to manually click all your abilities yourself. So there's a lot of micromanagement, but it adds to the fun of the game. Either way, this is just a skill demonstration, not a gameplay video per se. So go ahead and look down here. For the mercenary, you have cylinders. You activate these, they apply a buff to you, a certain type of buff. For example, that increases the healing you do. You activate this one. That adds armor penetration. You can see right there, there's talent stat to that. I've got sprint on. Got this, whatnot. Jet boost, which is an AoE pushback, and I've got some heals here. So we're going to beat up this ugly little thing right here. You've got Death from Above on the Mercenary, which is a big AoE. That you jump up, you shoot some rockets, you miss horribly like I just did, and apparently you aggro a bunch of shit.
Buster.
Now I'm going to let her fight. Yeah.
Try to be more
She'll get herself killed, so I'm going to Tracer Missile that. Tracer Missile that. Now if you'll see the heat mechanic going up, I can't just sit here, but I can use this as my heat naturally lowers. And that's generally how combat's gonna go. Of course, there's more in-depth combat on raids and shit. Now, let me explain companions, and then I believe I'll about cover most of SWTOR. Alright, every class, as I said, gets companions. Everybody gets essentially a healer companion, a tank companion, and then a bunch of in-betweens. They all start with different ones. For example, bounty hunters start with Mako, who is a healer, also very pretty. So, yeah, it's good to stuff. The Sorcerer starts with Kimval, who is a Dashad, and he's your tank with the ability to do a decent amount of damage. There's somebody on a speeder over there. What is that? Imperial Desert. And then, they all have their own abilities and gear, as I said. Some of them later on in the game can take care of themselves. Healer companions can make it to where you can play as a DPS and run around and just troll everything pretty much. You can also use them in place of a party member. This is intriguing in and of itself. So let's say you're... Matter of fact, there's a Deshad over there tanking. Alright, so let's say you and your best friend are playing SWTOR and you don't have anybody else to play with. That's okay, your party members will fill the other two... Your companions, I'm sorry, will fill the other 2 slots. This makes it to where you guys can do slightly harder tier dungeons, and you can actually customize the type of abilities your companions use by clicking this here. You'll see that I have abilities that have green dots. If you right-click that ability, you'll deactivate it. So now, since it doesn't have the little green tick mark, she won't actually... Well, apparently she will use it. Yeah. Okay, maybe she did that because I had already been wounded and manually clicked it. But you can deactivate these, and if you start combat, she won't use them. At least I believe so. Let's go ahead and make sure I'm right versus wrong. Because I would hate to be wrong and be telling you something that's not true. Yeah. Now she's just gonna blast her little embarrassing pistol. Finish him off. Yeah. So I was right. She must have done it because I was out of combat, which is fine. So if you don't want her to use any form of attack abilities, deactivate all attack abilities. So you can technically choose how their AI is going to work, but naturally it's not going to be anywhere near as good as a human player. Although you get by. 2 dudes can run through with healer companions and troll just about any content in the game, outside of maybe high tier raids. So we're going to go ahead and let her heal herself and exit out of here for now. And that about covers Star Wars: The Old Republic. Its character creation in and of itself is pretty basic. I wouldn't say it's your bare bones because you have a lot of options. While yes, now you have to be stuck with certain races unless you purchase them, I can't talk bad about that because free-to-play models need some stuff. The game itself is worth giving a shot, but I'm not going to go into if it's the best thing in the world free to play or not. To he his own in that regard. Your companions are rather enjoyable. There are romance options, so depending on the race you choose, well, not the race, the class you choose, you may have options. I believe they've now implemented the same-sex options, which I'm okay with. Some might not be, but whatever, don't be ignorant. And the classes themselves feel right. They feel good. Sith Sorcerer feels incredibly good. Sith Assassin is also very fun. The Sith Warrior is the same. Bounty Hunters I thought I would dislike, but I found I enjoyed. They all feel like what you would expect them to feel like. The Sniper, super damage at long range, but at close range it's like meh. You know, definitely enjoyable to play. Star Wars: The Old Republic, everybody. I can't give you a rating because I procrastinated too long. I will come back and leave annotations in a day or so once I've properly gone over everything and given it a legitimate rating. Thank you for watching. Sorry that I'm unprofessional about how I go about things. And as always, you know what to do.